morning, good morning, good morning. I am headed to work and I just wanted to come on and share or send out positive vibes this morning because I've been having a really rough week. Not even just a rough week, but maybe a rough month or two. And I am trying to stay positive, trying to stay aligned with what God says and just all of the things, trying to not go into that negative headspace of things are not happening the way they should, things are not looking the way they should. Um, we don't talk about stuff like this as entrepreneurs quite that often. And I'm coming on today because for my entrepreneurs out there and that's going through it in this new season that we're in, I just want to encourage you to stay firm in what it is that you do. Stay planted in the word and just know that God is still sitting on the throne. The promises that was made to you was not to harm you or to hurt you. They were there the promise was made to prosper you. And I believe that 100%. My phone keep falling off my thing. I don't know why. But I just want to encourage you to keep going. Stay positive. I am. Some days I wake up and I just don't really know what to do, when to do it, or how to do it. All I know is I just got to keep going. I got to keep going, and I can't stop. And no matter what it looks like, it's not what it is. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I have to trust God and trust that everything that's going to happen is going to happen in my favor in the way that it needs to, whether it be good or bad. I've come to terms with learning how to push through the bad as well, because sometimes the bad is not always bad. Like, there's always something on the other side of bad, and it's all usually better. So for me, I'm just saying good morning everybody. I'm just saying that, like today I woke up this morning, I'm not in the best mood. um I've been having some really, really struggles in my business with this new season that we're in, and just having to push through it in ways that you don't even know. Sometimes you just want to give up, and I'm not gonna even lie, give up in a way that I just want to shut it all down and just say to hell with it. Really. But there's so many people depending on me to keep going, and that's where the weight gets heavy. It gets so heavy knowing that you are not the only one that people are that your family is not just, it's not just your family that's dependent on you. It's every employee you have families that's employing, that's depending on you. You have 50 employees, and don't let those employees be the breadwinners of their homes. That makes it that much harder. You have to figure out how things are going to happen for not only your house but their houses too. You don't want to have to come in and say that I'm going to be laying anybody off, or that I have to cut back on hours, or I have to trim the fat in whichever ways I can. But sometimes you have to do it, and that's where good morning, that's where the hardships come in. That's where the sleepless nights come in. That's where the tears start to flow. That's when that is if you are human and you have a heart. Some people have gotten to the place where they've seen these things happen so many times and it just don't matter to them anymore. But I haven't seen it that many times. This is only my third time, and I'm still going through it. I'm still fighting through the process of holding back the tears, trimming back the fat, and saying that it's okay that you have to let people go. I mean, and then you want to justify it by saying, if they're going to do what they're going to do regardless of what you're going to do. If they feel like they need to go find another job, then they'll just go find another job, and that is rightfully so. But as a person, you don't get to, like, I just feel like that's just the hardest thing, especially when the economy is not the best and people and children are involved. Like, how do you just sit down and think that way? So yes, I am that's my headspace for right now. I am leaving. I'm headed to work 2 hours early because I have some things I need to do before my staff get in, and try to figure out some things and just try to navigate the space. Not only navigate that space, but clear my head space before people starts to walk through my door, and just so that I can kind of recollect myself and change my mindset, change my attitude, change my facial expressions. Because I don't have a smile today. I don't have a smile. As a matter of fact, I want to cry. I just want to I just want today to just end, and just, can we start a new day? Just kind of get over it. Like, can we just not deal with what's happening in the world, and not have to deal with people coming into my office upset, aggravated because their benefits are being cut? Yeah, like, it really is hard. And I just don't understand how people can make decisions that will hurt other people. I just think that at the end of the day, it's just, this is the life that I'm living right now. I have more good days than I have bad days, and today is one of those bad days. And I'm just sharing it because you don't always see the hardships that happen with business owners. You don't get to see entrepreneurship in this light. Everybody makes things look like it's peaches and cream all the time. Instagram is all, everything is all hunky-dory. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not always hunky-dory, and sometimes we have things that we need to think about. We have to get, I'm reporting somebody because I'm not in the mood for the bullshit this morning. I'm really not. So everybody wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, and they want to come on and just kind of make things worse than what they are. But I don't really want to deal with that this morning. So there we go. I just feel like at the end of the day, you have so many hateful people out in the world, just hateful for no reason. And at the end of the day, I ain't gonna even lie to you. I feel like being that person that I'm here for anything today. Today for anything. Like, if they wasn't keyboard thugs, and if I could reach out and touch somebody, I probably would. But I'm not gonna stoop to your level because, Rory, you are miserable in your own right. So you have a wonderful day. But okay, so I just wanted to come on and share that, at the end of the day, entrepreneurship can be the most amazing thing ever. Like, it really could be. It's those hardships that you face that seems like life is just not, like, it just make you want to give up and say, you know what, that bullshit that people talk about all the time that nobody wants to deal with. Can I just make my money, go home and take care of my family and live my life. That's what I want to do. But then when you start bringing other people into the scenario, you start thinking about all of the things that, all of the responsibilities that you have, that's the weight that you have to carry, you know, and you have to make the hard decisions whether you want to or not. And that's when you have to take a deep breath and regroup and kind of figure out which way am I gonna turn, right, left, back up, move forward, you know. um I don't know. So I don't get to have these conversations with people daily, because you don't have these conversations with people daily. These are not the conversations that we are talking about to people around us. So I'm here talking to y'all because you don't know me, and I'm venting and getting my watch hours up at the same time. Gotta find the humor in it somewhere, right? But and if you haven't subscribed, would you please hit the subscribe button? I could use about 500 more subscribers. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, I am sitting here and I'm just kind of just thank you, Way South 550, for being here for me. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Um, I just really feel like at the end of the day, sometimes you just need to vent. And usually it would be me venting, riding to work, talking to myself, and crying and doing all of the things before I get to my office, because you got to do it. You got to let it go, you know. And most times you don't really want to deal with it. Like, I don't want to I don't want to lay anybody off. I don't want to cut back on anything. I don't want to have to be that person to tell somebody that, you know what, I'm going to have to lay you off today because the numbers are not looking the way they are supposed to, and the revenue doesn't add up, and the client numbers are falling, and we are not getting any clients to replace the ones that we're losing. You know, I don't want to do that today. I don't want to do it, but you know, I'm pretty much in the back of my mind is saying that might be what I have to do, and I don't know. But I appreciate you guys for sitting on and listening to me vent. You know, I just really needed to get that off of my chest. I even had to drop a tear or two, but you know, it is what it is, and I get to go into my office and not feel so heavy because I've been able to share this with you guys. I wish I had I just wish I had the answers to. I have the answer. The answer is just not coming, and it's out of my control. Like, I don't have any control over what's happening in the world and what's happening with what I'm dealing with, because it's not something that I can do on a day-to-day basis. So I don't really know. I don't really think that there is a answer other than to just go through it and push. You know, push until you get on the other side. Push until you figure out another option. Push until you don't know. You know, I don't know. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing, because it's in the pushing that you're going to figure out what it is that's next, or what it is that you may need to do, or whatever the case may be. This is when you have that experience comes in, and you have to use what you know. I've been in this game 15 years, and this is the third time I've seen these kinds of hardships. I've pulled through the first 2 times, and I hope to pull through this third time, because I know that it's only going to keep happening, it's the inevitable. These are things that you can't control. You just have those days where you're going to have hardships, and that's beyond your control. How you navigate them, that part you can't control. Do you want to control it? Not all the time. No, most times you don't want to control them, because you have to make the hard decisions when you don't even want to make the hard decisions. And that's the part we struggle with, is making the hard decisions. I wish you guys could talk back to me. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I wish, like, you could really have, like, say something outside of, just listening at me talk. I look bummed today because I really don't care. Like, no makeup, no lipstick, lips chapped, hair just everywhere. I don't really, I'm just here today. Here to do what I gotta do and go home. Like, for the past 2 months, I think I've just been sleeping the days away. My husband would come home and he'd say, "You all right?" And I'd just be like, "Yeah, I'm just tired." And I kind of feel like that's a little bit of a depression setting in. I try to push through it. But for me, it's no pushing through it. It is what it is, and it's not going to lift until things get better for me on my end. And so, instead of me being aggravated with everybody or coming home disgusted and frustrated, I just go to sleep. Um, that's not the best behavior to have, because that is also called isolating. And being that I am a counselor, I understand the repercussions of that, but we deal with things the way we deal with things, and sometimes that's just how we deal with it. And sometimes, there's no set, there's no correct way to deal with stuff. So however you find to deal with whatever you're dealing with, that's what you do to deal with it, as long as you know that you're not causing any harm to yourself or anybody around you. Um, and you don't get put in a place where you're not eating, losing weight, and all of that kind of stuff, because it can get bad. And I'm very aware of what I'm dealing with and why I'm dealing with it and why I feel like I am. So I know that once everything goes back to the way it's supposed to be, my depression will lift and I'll be back okay. But right now I'm just not okay. I'm not okay about anything that I'm doing. This is very heavy for me, and it's nothing my husband can do to help me. It's nothing anybody around me can do to help me with whatever it is that I'm dealing with. And that's the hard problem. It's just me being able to, like, right now I feel like you are the best thing that could happen to me right now, because I'm here talking and I'm saying it out loud. And I'm saying it out loud to somebody that can't repeat it, because you don't know me. These are not the conversations that you go and call your best friend and talk to them about, because they don't understand, especially if they're not business owners. They don't get it. And another business owner would probably say, they just employees. Let them go. Move on. Like, it's a piece of trash to just throw out the window. But I care about my employees. I care about my clients. I care about everybody that comes through my office. I don't treat people like they're not valuable to me, because everybody that I cross paths with, they hold value, and I value them. I take that very seriously. You know, I think about how God would want me to treat somebody, how I want to be treated. I want you to value me. I know that I know that I add value to that everybody to I when you cross my path, I'm going to help you, no matter whether it's something that I said, something that I've done, resources, whatever the case may be. I have no intentions on hurting anybody. And I just always feel like at the end of the day, that's why I'm continuously being blessed in the way that I am, because God, I want people to see God in me every time, every single time. And I don't want to mistreat people, and I don't want to see people hurt. But sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do. Like if I have to lay off people, that's not me wanting to do that. That's me having to do that. Not only to protect you, but to protect myself and my livelihood, you know? Um, because at the end of the day, if I can't pay you, I can't pay you. And there's nothing, but you're still going to want your paycheck. And that's just something that I can't do. Now, you're going to go find another job. I'm going to have to figure it out, because I don't have anywhere else to go. And I'm not going anywhere else, because I'm not closing my company down. Um, but I am going to stop here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening to me vent on my way to work. I have made it to work. Um, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, because this might be the only income I have in a couple of years. And I need to monetize it. But I am grateful for all of you that stopped in this morning to just listen to me vent and send positive vibes to me this morning. I appreciate it. You don't know, sometimes it's the small things that people do. And today it was the small thing that you did for me. So thanks. And I'm about to end it here and go ahead and settle down and work. Bye.